I was very much looking forward to Captain Blood. I wanted more old stuff, older styles to then come back as new games. I honestly crave that kind of thing. In some cases, just give me the good old-fashioned linear fun. Yeah, it might seem like a God of War clone, of the good ones at least. But hey, if you're going to take from the greats, then you better take from those games. At its best, at least so far, Captain Blood is a very fun linear action game. But it's also a title that continually hits me with elements of even stability issues, where it sort of completely takes me out of the experience, frustrates me, or just makes me wonder why this wasn't delayed just a bit more. I want to first highlight what I think this game does very well. Again, when it's good, this game is a lot of fun. Like I was getting a very good weekend rental kind of vibes from this title. Something that isn't too long, and can maybe even be beaten in one night. Quality gameplay, decent enough story, great music, and even other aspects of the presentation being stellar. The action is pretty great here. You have your sword slashes, a bunch of combos that you can do and then earn and then upgrade as well. A quick firing gun, a special, bombs, and even being able to pick up some of your enemies' weapons too. I love when you get to use the big sword, because it feels like pirate dynasty warriors. Executions can be done on weakened enemies, and aid you in other ways as you gain new ones. Maybe they help to drop some more health, or weapon pickups. The opening levels start this game off very strong. Again, that demo was killer. I was excited for this game. If this entire game was like its opening levels, then I would be easily recommending this title today. But sadly, Captain Blood is not that consistent. Okay, so let me discuss some of the flaws. Some of these things are things that I think should be in the game but are oddly missing. Like the game has no options for subtitles. While I do not require them, I generally like to play with them on. Another thing is odd is how the sound mixing in this game is kinda bad. Like the music can be so overpowering that I cannot consistently hear what the characters are saying. Again, while subtitles does not fix this issue, turning them on can help to mitigate the problem. So this stuff isn't really that bad, annoying for sure, and hopefully something that can be fixed with a patch, along with the odd visual glitches like floating enemies, or something like that. I can stomach that type of stuff, but then the game would start throwing these riflemen at the character, and they are these quick-firing musket bad guys, and they move really fast, and they can deal a lot of quick damage to the player, and it can all feel very cheap. Along with the grenadiers, especially when you fight them in groups, and those bombs can just cause you to flop all over. So yes, the annoying enemies like these need more balancing, but the worst of the issues, and where I almost gave up with the game altogether the first time it happened, was when it crashed on me at the end of a level. I was told that I completed it, and then it crashed, and then I had to play the entire last portion again. Nothing is worse than being pulled back because the game does not have the right stability. So it crashed once for me early on, so my issues were compounding, annoying enemies, a crash, and I kept going, and then the annoying enemies would increase. To the point sometimes I was just running past enemy encounters to avoid them. That's never a good sign for your game. And then it crashed again. It was at this point I was like, okay, I think I might be done with this title for now. I shift back to what Captain Blood does well. It's an action game from the 360 days. Some of the cutscenes have some really cool bits of action too. This is where I would find myself wondering why this game was not playtested more, because I think a lot of this stuff is fairly obvious, especially to me just playing this game on normal, trying to enjoy the game. And again, that is part of the frustration. When it's good, it's very good, loads of fun, and then something will happen and you'll be pulled out of it. I just couldn't get into a good flow with this title, well, outside of those opening chapters at least. Look, here's the thing. Yes, I wanted to keep going with this game. I wanted to play this game more. When I played the demo when it released last year, I was really excited for this title. The first few levels were featured there, and they were really great, had a lot of action, epic music, both familiar and something new with how it all played. It was a blast, so I was like, if the entire game is like the first few levels, then we're going to be in for a real treat. The problem is with the full game, is that pretty much towards the end of Chapter 1, the issues do start to crop up. Oddly enough, even more so than how they were presented within the demo. Then, as I kept going, it was a combination of, oh, I'm having a really good time, and then annoyed at something that would happen in this game as well, which would leave me feeling with this mixed feeling. Now, I will admit, for the bulk of my run, I was willing to tolerate a bunch of issues that I brought up in this video, hoping that things would sort of improve with patches down the line. Maybe that will happen. But then after the second crash, I was like, okay, I'm just going to wait for this game to get more improvements, because this is an area, game stability, that I definitely think these developers can fix. There are other issues to iron out as well, with balancing and honestly having some enemies, like the Grenadiers and Gunners, not being as annoying as they are. Again, I think much of this stuff is fixable, but where I wanted to go into this game, hoping to recommend it, especially after having a fun time with the demo, I am not left with having that feeling right now, like I can't recommend this title in its current form. Some of you might be able to look past many of these issues, and that's fair. For me, with the 2 crashes and the other annoyances, I figured it would just be better to wait and give this title a try later on. So I think right now, while Captain Blood is fun and also frustrating, this is one that I would keep an eye out on and see if the issues I have mentioned get fixed. Again, I played on PC, and maybe the PC version only has crashes, and the other versions do not. Either way, I would not recommend Captain Blood right now. What are your thoughts on all this? Have you played the game? What are your issues that you've experienced? Let me know all of this in the comments down below. If you're interested in supporting the channel, please check out my Patreon page. For just $1 a month, you can help to keep this channel going strong, and this allows me to be able to do more for my awesome audience. Please check out the links in the description and pinned comment for ways to support the channel. And most of all, thank you very much for watching.